The following video contains FF14 story spoilers all the way to Endwalker. As the end of the year draws closer, when the days get shorter and the nights grow colder, a special event takes place across Eorzea. The streets become decorated with lanterns and carved pumpkins. People don elaborate costumes and engage in playful tricks or indulge in sweet treats. All Saints' Wake is one of the most eagerly awaited events on the FF14 calendar. The lore behind the event itself is quite the tale, and with the 12 having recently made themselves known, the story of All Saints' Wake has gotten all the more interesting. In this video, we explore All Saints' Wake, the story behind the trick or treat. We cast the book of history back many years. To properly tell the tale of All Saints' Wake, it's important to learn about the events that inspired it. Many years ago, as the legends tell, as Eorzea's history was woven, the 12, Eorzea's deity gods, chose special individuals and gifted them the great honour of becoming saints. These people were chosen for their accomplishments of great works or the living of lives of exemplary virtue. Along with conferring upon them the mantle of saint, the 12 would also bless these individuals, and they came to be associated with a member of the 12 whose qualities they exhibit. As an example of one such saint, let's explore the tale of Saint Adama Lamdana and the market basket. Adama Lamdana was a merchant of well-established wealth. Whilst many knew him as a miserly soul who would not spare a clipped gill for the poor, the peddlers on the marketplace held a decidedly different view of the man. Though it was true Adama was not one for charity, he never haggled over the price of wares he considered worth purchasing, be it a little girl's collection of seashells or an idle artist's latest masterpiece. His practice of strolling amongst the stalls and filling an oversized basket with whatever took his fancy attracted new traders to the business of specialty goods, and eventually led to the market becoming the largest of its kind in the region. Celebrated for his munificence in the field of commerce, Adama Lamdana was raised up as a saint blessed of Nal Thal. You may already recognise the name Saint Adama Lamdana from the church bearing his name in Thanalan. His tale is one of many that would later be immortalised in crystal form. If you have ever done a guild levy or levy quest, then you have likely seen these images before. They were also present in the original 1.0 cinematic trailer. These saints were said to provide the realm and its people with a measure of divine protection. This is where the tale of All Saints' Wake begins. At the same time each year, the 12 would host a lavish feast, one so grand it defied imagination. They would invite their chosen saints, and thus take them into their realm. However, the acts of the saints leaving for this one day would leave the realm bereft of their protection. With the saints gone, creatures of darkness would creep out of the shadows and wreak havoc on mortal kind. As they feared for their safety, the people would all return home before sunset. They would bar their doors and windows to keep the darkness at bay, until the light of the morning would return. For those who had no choice but to venture forth in the darkness, they would don themselves in costumes to look like fiends, so they could pass among them unnoticed. One such night when the saints were away, as the creatures of darkness returned, the adventurers of the realm would stand defiant in the face of the darkness. As the years went on and the deeds and tales of these adventurers spread, the people would begin to regard this day with celebration of their saints' ascent to the heavens, rather than a day of fear of them being absent. They started lining the streets with warding lanterns, and parade around in costumes to enjoy an evening of trick-or-treat. It was this series of events that would give birth to the annual celebration of All Saints' Wake. This event would continue to be celebrated year after year for time untold, until the events of the 7th Umbral Calamity. Spirits were at a low never seen in the realm's recorded past. However, one group would make it their mission to invigorate the people and inspire them to once again embrace All Saints' Wake as a time of happy celebration. This group is the Continental Circus, who hold the All Saints' Wake celebrations we have enjoyed since the Calamity. The circus also keeps a vigil over the celebrations, as Voidsent were keen to invade and cause mischief in their myriad of ways. In the latest appearance by the circus at All Saints' Wake, we learned a bit more about its membership's origins, as well as that of their leader. Many members are true Voidsent as we know them. Their leader, however, is something different. She's not confirmed to be mortal, but neither is she a Voidsent. She states her ancestors once bound Voidsent to their will, and used them as a means to fight wars, which resulted in great harm being caused to the world. This likely means that she's a descendant of Maki Void Mages, thus has the arts to control Voidsent. There is another theory, however, that she may actually be a Memoria from the 13th, and a descendant of those who fought in the war long ago. I think the former is most likely, but let me know what you think in the comments. She and her controlled Voidsent live in a secluded manor deep in the Black Shroud, far away from the eyes of mortals. So then, that's the lore of All Saints' Wake. But I want to jump into theory mode with you for the rest of this video to go over a few things that recent Endwalker events have had me questioning. First off, the creatures of darkness that would appear when the Saints were away. As we know, the members of the Continental Circus are for the most part Voidsent, but unlike others of their kind, they mean no harm to those they encounter. However, it's highly likely these creatures of the legends of All Saints' Wake were in fact Voidsent that crossed over from the Void. Recently, the 12 have made themselves known to us, but they have not fully explained why they did so. But the 12 being confirmed as real beings likely means the Saints were real as well. They were either mortals blessed by the 12 as the story is told, or they were their servants that watched over the realm in their stead, keeping the Voidsent at bay. The Voidsent and their domain have been very active lately in the main story of Endwalker. Maybe this activity is what made the 12 show themselves as they need our aid in the fight to come. Sadly, All Saints' Wake didn't fill in any of the gaps officially for us, but it did provide extra lore on the subject of the event, and gave us a great many things to speculate about. So, what do you think about All Saints' Wake? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're a subscriber already, thank you so much for your support. If you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to do so, as I have loads of videos uploaded and I have much more on the way. Thanks all, and may you have a fun, festive, and spooky All Saints' Wake.